Your body is ahead of your mind. That is word for word what my college baseball coach told me. And they pissed me off so freaking much. Because it's like, I thought that I was Mr. Big Shit, that I knew everything. I was so prideful. I had so many like skill sets and abilities as an athlete that hearing that I'm lacking in some type of area, it just pissed me off. It rubbed me off in the wrong way. But it affected me so much because he was correct. Not only was he correct then, he was correct years later afterwards. Because let me kind of put you guys in my mind. As a baseball player in college, like, I had so many skill sets, bro. Like, I was 210 pounds at 6'2". I was really strong. I was really mobile, very flexible. I was just like a very powerful athlete. I had been, up to this point, I had been pitching for like 3 years up to that point. So I was still fairly new. I didn't have all these like years and years that every single one of my other teammates had. I was fairly new to pitching itself. I was able to throw 87 miles per hour, but it's like I was still figuring out how can I incorporate all these sort of abilities into throwing an actual baseball. And so the more that I was growing, the faster I started to throw, the better pitcher I was. Like, it was during like all this sort of like growth up, like before college is when I actually got injured. So going into college, I was injured, but I was still throwing like decently hard before I got injured. And then I was still growing. So my potential to become a baseball pitcher was so freaking high. I had only touched the tip of the iceberg. I had so much growth, bro. Like, it was just insane, the stuff that I could do. Like, I could do like a full-on split. Now, F that. But back then, I had so many of these skill sets. Going into college, I was only going to flourish and just grow way more. But then my coach told me that my body was ahead of my mind. And I didn't quite understand it. I didn't know why. And it took me some time afterwards to really grasp what he was actually saying. And looking back, it's like, though I was injured and I was, training to get back, training to start pitching for my actual team, I was very much afraid. I didn't want to go all out in the practices. I didn't want to pour my everything into the actual sport, just like 50%. Reason being is I had that fear in my mind that, bro, if I get injured again, I'm gonna have to be out for like an entire like year or plus. I had a UCL strain and I was on the verge. Well, I don't quite know, but when you have a UCL strain, it is very likely that you're gonna get like your actual UCL is gonna tear. When that shit happens, you gotta get TJ surgery, which is Tommy John surgery. So right here in the elbow, you gotta get a whole freaking surgery, and then you gotta be out for like a year plus. And I was like, I have friends who have gone through that. I don't want to go through that. And so I was so afraid of getting injured that held me back from doing things with the actual team. And so when it came to bullpens, if you guys don't know what that is, it's essentially I'm throwing to a catcher and I'm practicing. I didn't want to do that because when you're on an actual mound, you create more force, and that's more stress on the elbow. And so I always had that mind or that fear that, like, bro, if I actually tear this on my bullpens or in my practices, like, I'm just done. And I had built up this entire like athlete, this entire baseball player up to this point. I'm not just gonna destroy that just because some type of coach wants me to like throw or do this or do that. That's how weak-minded I was. I didn't have belief in myself that I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be okay. This is like, I'm gonna move on, but I can't keep letting this fear hold me back. And so when I look back, I'm like, my coach was absolutely right. Though physically you saw a very strong dude, on the inside, I was very much weak. And this thing kept happening later on in my life. Like you guys know, me and my girlfriend left. And I didn't know how to move on from that. Because my mind was so weak that I thought this was the best that I could do. This is, again, no disrespect to her, but it's like, there's always something for you. There's something for me. There's something for you as well. But I didn't know how, like, who I was as a person. And it took me a while to realize, I was like, damn, like, I'm actually physically, aesthetic. I'm strong. I've done, my due diligence when it comes to working out, to where now I have a decent physique. I know how to train. I know how to stay disciplined on my actual diet. I've gotten confidence from working out. And so, even though, again, I had a lot of things physically, I didn't know how to use it, like, for my mind, or I didn't know how to use it with, like, other people, or I didn't know just how to use my skill sets for other things. And so, this is why for a long time, even though I was, like, working out, I had gotten some confidence, I was still lacking a lot of stuff. And my mindset was just, it wasn't, like, there. Like my body was, like, right here. Sorry. My body was, like, up here. Strong, muscular, could deadlift, bench, squat, a whole bunch of weight. But my mindset was, like, all the way down over here. It was like this huge gap between my actual physical body and my actual mind. And I couldn't understand why it was that, like it can never come into, like, agreement. It was always, like, different. And this went on for, like, years, bro. Years. Though I was working out and I was getting stronger, I was just so weak-minded. Sometimes I would let people talk to me. Sometimes I would, like talk to me, tell me, like, some bad stuff. Or sometimes I let people disrespect me. And then, in a way, I thought that, like, my body could just fix everything. But it hadn't do much for, like, my mind. Because, to be honest with you, bro, like, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I wanted to become. I had always let my identity be altered by what other people want me to be, what career path they want me to take, what sorts of mindset they want me to take. And when you bounce around from different identities, truthfully, you don't have one. And so it was through going back to what my coach said, honestly, just being honest with myself and being like, yeah, like, my coach is absolutely right. My mind, like, I'm supposed to just be a killer when it comes to baseball. I'm supposed to just go out there, pitch, go out with the fucking team, give it my 100%, my all, not leave anything left, leave the actual field sweating, tired, my heart just pumping. I'm supposed to leave everything on the actual field and not have anything else to bring out. But I always, like, held something back. I wanted to give a little bit, but not too much. I wanted to show up, but not too much. I wanted to do this, but not too much. Because I was just afraid of failing, afraid of tearing my UCL, of tearing, like, I was just afraid, bro. Afraid of hearing no. Afraid of just not doing the actual right things. Afraid of the guilt of what it's like to do wrong things. I was such afraid, and my mind just held me back so much. Because looking back, I was like, I should have gone on there with just everything, 110%. Give everything to the actual game that I love and I treasured. But it was the fear and the mindset that just held me back so much. And I still held me back later on in my life. I look back at different jobs that I had, and I'm like, why did I not ask for a freaking raise? I'm doing the actual work. I am consistent. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. Why am I not asking for more? I was single for a very long time, and you know what guys say all the time. Oh, I'm not looking for somebody, or I'm not this, I'm not that. Bullshit. I was too fucking scared to talk to some girl and just say, hey, I think you're beautiful. Do you want to go out to eat? I was afraid of just hearing no. I was afraid to go out to my manager and just asking for, like, more. Just afraid. And every single time that fear held me back, I kept thinking back of what my coach said. My body was ahead and my mind was back. My mindset wasn't ahead of my body. And so what did I do? I just forced myself to do hard things. I got into sales. Guys, like, sales has been like life-changing for me. Getting told no, getting told not interested, getting cussed out, getting people throwing their middle finger at me, people calling me a whole bunch of names. Yeah, it was hard at first. Yeah, were there days where like I wanted to cry? Hell yes, bro. You know what it is to hear no every single day, multiple times a day, multiple times a week, per month, etc. But it was through that time of being uncomfortable, getting the door shut in my face, getting people and just like the look on their faces of just pissed off and just anger, that slowly helped me shatter those limiting beliefs. So that fear that I had just started to like shatter. And not only was in this job of like sales, was I able to shatter some of those beliefs, but also the belief that like something really bad is going to happen if I do this that causes me fear. Like, if I'm going to do something that's fearful, the outcome is so bad, like the no is so bad that I'd rather not do it. That fear started to break slowly. And you should have been there. The amount of times that like I started to slowly break that, the confidence that just came. I just came into a room, talked to this person, talked to that person, started making connections, started to realize that like I'm still going to be alive. It's still going to be fine. It doesn't matter what my mind thinks, but just do. Prove to myself that I am this confident dude. Prove to myself that I can become greater. But it takes you walking through that door to realize that. And it's probably the hardest door you have to walk through. But whenever you do walk through that door, you start to see so many different opportunities. So many different opportunities, people that want to hang out with you, that have all these business ideas, that want to see you like all the time, that they want to go out to parties, they want to go out to eat, they want to just be in your presence. Just be in your presence. They would just want to get to know you. How are you a guy that like is just fearless, is not scared, doesn't matter what he or she says, but it's just fearless and just it's just going into just any sort of goal with just relentlessness? That person is a person that I slowly start to become, and I'm still becoming now. Yeah, like I have grown a lot, but there's still more ways that I can grow. Be it in my business, in my relationships, in my goals. Breaking the habit of being myself, breaking those limiting beliefs, breaking that fear has helped me so much in life. And looking back, I wish I can go back to that coach and be like, coach, thank you. I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that like I was just masking something back then. And it was through you being honest with me is when I started to realize that. And that's sort of like just that sentence, that statement has just been so powerful for me. And I thank him so much. And it's true. You have to work on your mind. Work on your mind. You can have all the money, you can have all the muscles, you can have all the cars, the houses, all the friends, like whatever, but if you're not strong up here, if your mind isn't strong, it doesn't matter. There's been a whole bunch of millionaires that have lost a whole bunch of money, that have been cheated by wives, that have, like, so many things happen, and we think that just by getting by just getting this sort of like material or this prize or this body is gonna fix everything. I'm here to tell you it's not. Start here, and everything else starts to kind of put itself into place. In some ways, I wish I had that mindset that I do now, just going out there, just giving it my all. Who knows what I could have become. Again, I don't regret it. It shaped me up. However, it's like, even though I can't live that life anymore, how can I implement that same mindset today? Fellas, thank you so much for watching this video. I truly love making these YouTube videos for y'all, and I hope that truthfully, what I'm saying can impact at least just one life. I don't care if this video gets 100 million views or just 10 views. As long as it can impact at least one life, that's all that I care about. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, my name is Brandon. Fellas, God bless, and I love you all.